Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
Super 66.
The drive starts with a run by Collins. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker Bobby Wagner able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try to find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that. But he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. It doesn't put them perform in bad situations.
Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. The numbers for Baldwin last week: 7 catches, 76 yards.
You think the head coach and the offensive coordinator are able to pull the earplugs out now? Because all week, all they heard was, you know, Coach, they can't guard the pass at all. I mean, they're next to last in the league. Let's throw it on every down.
Yeah, last week we saw the numbers. This week going against second to last in the pass defense area. Good for him. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. This is the Oklahoma State run. Chris Carson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Wilson. He gets it to Brown, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there at 22. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. The tackle there by Mark Barron. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as he'll be left with a 3rd and long. On the defensive side of the ball, the starters for Los Angeles. They enter this one down in the 26th position in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He may try and run for this. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? Three-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
They run it with Carson. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Penny will try to punch it in. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. Where the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. There's Wilson to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And the QB rating right now sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. Cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills. You get the full package with him.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. It's complete. This is Todd Gurley. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Goff now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Again, Goff. That's It's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. There he goes inside the 30 and down to the 29-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just heading straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's third down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
A handoff to Penny. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt. Team as it's 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Rams will get it at the 20. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
76, tell him. 76. 76.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
76. 76.
On 2nd down, Collins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Start left here. 2 up. 12, 12.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff drops it underneath for Collins. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them
The
another
penalty is
3rd down, they'll
declined.
decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Welch. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try to run for it with Penning. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now here's Michael Dixon, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Tiger, Tiger. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Now a 1st down throw. Gone. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing again is gone. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
76.
Here's a 1st down run with Collins. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the 1st half. Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. 1st and 10 at the 19.
14.
From the red zone now, Goff. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Goff throwing again. Powers through, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again. Gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Penny. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding. Offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
After the penalty, it's Penny. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, where it was the Saints who come away with the victory at home. Drew Brees, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head to Hard Rock Stadium to check on the Dolphins at home in Miami. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Redskins. Kenny Stills, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, just the lone touchdown accounting for all the scoring. A tight one, 7-0 is the score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Here's Carson. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Wilson. He lets it fly from Lockett. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And incomplete here on 3rd down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Now Wilson on second down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were. Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
76, 76.
Goff on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Zerline's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but you know.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd down. So pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Over the middle here to Brown. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
again. It's Collins. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Returnable for Lockett. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Wilson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Welch. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The penalty set him back. Now a big play moves him forward. It's 2nd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. The Rams on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes...
And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Letting one go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the gun. Gone. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down of the yard. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hold on. Check.
They go again with Collins, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Oh, he's not going to get it by much, but on 4th and 1, all you're worried about is moving the sticks. And here he's able to fight his way forward for a couple of yards, and that's all he needed.
Super 66. Starting left here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
He wasn't ready. All right. Come on now. Yes, sir.
They'll try the air now with Goff. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Man, he just ran a terrific route. Extremely hard to defend when it's run that precisely and the ball's delivered that accurately.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead is now 10-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Throwing is Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere he looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, it's Wilson again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flushed it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Shane Ray in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Rams getting set to go now. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll begin the drive with Collins. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
But Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On 2nd down, here's Goff. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Rams on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try run forward with Collins. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Super 66. Starting left here.
Now a give to Collins. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one good for 12 yards. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Throwing on 3rd. Gone. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And they'll get him down right about the 20. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Welch. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. We've seen a lot of interceptions from Talib over the years, and that was a big one to help seal this win.
He has such good ball skills, just always seems to be around it. And when he gets a chance to make a winning play, as we just saw there, he tends to take it.
And the Rams now coming out on the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
And they'll try to close it out now. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
You loved the defensive.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for L.A., their very slim playoff hopes get a boost as they move to 5-7. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.